Good evening. Welcome to the new session of Premade Pro, and we are continuing the third chapter of human physiology, the human excretion. And yesterday I have given a brief idea about the nephron, and today we will continue from the later stage of the nephron. Okay, so nephron, what I have said, nephron was the structural and functional unit, functional unit of kidney. Okay, now what happened? The nephron. So, what do you mean by the Malpighian body or renal corpuscle? Malpighian body, Malpighian body, and or the renal corpuscle are the same thing. Malpighian body or the renal corpuscle are the same thing, and it is made up of the glomerulus and the Bowman's capsule. Okay, Malpighian body is equivalent to renal corpuscle, and it is made up of glomerulus plus the Bowman's capsule. That's the Bowman's capsule. Okay. Now we know the nephron are of two types. Okay. The nephron can be divided into two types. Nephron are of two types. One is cortical nephron, the cortex part, and the medullary part. Okay. There are two parts of the nephron. Okay, and two types of nephron. One is cortical nephron, and another is medullary nephron or the juxtaglomerular nephron. Okay. Now, the two part of the nephron contains the cortex as well as the medulla. The cortex is the outer part of the nephron, and the medulla is the inner part of the nephron. Okay. The cortex consists of Malpighian body, and the PCT or DCT. Okay, and the medullary nephron consists of the loop of Henle, called LOH, the collecting duct, extends from the collecting duct extends from cortex to medulla. Okay, the collecting duct extends from the cortex to the medullary part. Okay, now we come to the next topic, the peritubular capillaries. Peritubular capillaries. In short, we can say it as PTC. Okay. So, what is the peritubular capillaries? Peritubular capillaries are the efferent arteriole. It is the efferent arteriole from the capillary network around the tubular part of the nephron. Okay. It is a efferent arteriole. Afferent arteriole is going inside, and efferent arteriole is coming from the nephron, Bowman's capsule. Okay. It is a network of the efferent arteriole, which it's a capillary network also. It's a capillary network which is around the tubular part of the nephron. Okay, so we can write it as the efferent arteriole from capillary network around tubular part of nephron. Okay. Now we set it as let me draw it. Okay. Now This is the collecting duct. Okay, this is the collecting duct. This is the collecting duct. What happens? What happens? This is the DCT. Okay, this is the DCT. DCT. Okay. Now, this is the ascending part of Henle's loop, ALOH. So, this is the descending part of the Henle's loop. Okay. Now, arrow. This is the movement of the solutes. Okay. This is the movement of the solute. Now, this is the vasa recta. This is the vasa recta. What happens? This is the vasa recta. Okay. Through this, the counter current mechanism happens. Okay, this is the vasa recta network, and through which the counter current mechanism happens. Okay, now this is the PCT. This is the PCT. Okay. This is the PCT. This is the PCT. And this is the flow of the counter current mechanism. This is called the peritubular capillary. This is the peritubular capillary. This exits as renal vein. Exists as renal vein. Okay. This is the ascending vasa recta. Vasa recta. Okay. Now, this is the descending vasa recta. Descending vasa recta. Okay, descending vasa recta. This is the afferent arteriole. Afferent arteriole. So, peritubular capillaries. What happens? The efferent arteriole from capillary network forms capillary network around the tubular part of nephron. Around the tubular part of nephron is known as peritubular capillary. Okay. So note, take it as a note. The PTC around the loop of Henle is known as vasa recta. The PTC around the loop of Henle is known as vasa recta. The PTC around the loop of Henle is called vasa recta. Okay, now the types of nephron. Types of nephron. Types of nephron. Cortical nephron, and juxtamedullary nephron. Juxtamedullary nephron. Okay. Majority of the nephron is of cortical type. Majority of nephron is cortical type. 85%. And juxtamedullary nephron is 15% only. Okay. Next, the loop of Henle is short and superficially penetrates medulla. The loop of Henle is longer and deeply penetrate medulla. Vasa recta is either reduced or absent. Vasa recta is well developed in juxtamedullary nephron is well developed. Okay, now it functions as a excretion, and these functional plus functional as excretion as well as osmoregulation. Okay, this is the basic difference between it. Okay, now we come to the next part. Write a note that juxtaglomerular cells along with macula densa juxtaglomerular cell along with macula densa is known as JGA, juxtaglomerular apparatus, which plays a very important role in regulation of kidney function. Okay. Now, some important points. To remember. These points are generally necessary before the examination. Just go through it. Okay, collecting duct is not a part of nephron, of single nephron, is not a part of single nephron. Okay, density of many nephron open into a single collecting duct. Next, next, glomerulus, tuft of capillaries, Bowman's capsule, cup-like structure, double-walled. Bowman's capsule is a cup-like structure and is double-walled. Okay, visceral layer. Bowman's capsule consists of two. One is visceral layer means parietal. Okay. There are two part of the Bowman's capsule. One is visceral part and another is parietal part. Okay. Now, modified layer, modified squamous cells known as podocytes. So the modified squamous cell of visceral layer is called podocytes. Okay, podocytes. While as the simple squamous epithelium, the parietal layer is simple squamous epithelium. Now, I am drawing a structure. Okay, wait. Okay. Now, come to this part. Okay. This here the afferent. Here the afferent comes in and passes out as efferent. Okay, so this one is afferent. And this is efferent. Okay, it contains various tissues. This is the parietal, that is the outer layer. Okay. Now this is endothelium. This is the basement membrane. And this is the visceral layer. That is the inner layer. Okay, this is the visceral layer or the inner layer. Now what happens? Take it as a note. The vasa recta along with loop of Henle is responsible for concentrating urine and maintain osmolarity. For concentrating the urine and maintain osmolarity. Okay. Now the next part, the juxtaglomerular apparatus. The next part is juxtaglomerular apparatus. The juxtaglomerular apparatus. Okay. Here let it be the duct, the DCT. It is a DCT. Okay, this is the DCT. Okay, now and in this chapter there is too much drawing. Okay, now this is a capillary network. There is a capillary network inside. Okay, this is afferent. This is afferent. Okay, this is the macula densa. Now the JGA to macula plus JG cells. Sensitive region formed due to close proximity between afferent arteriole and DCT. Okay, now here the JG cells, that is the juxtaglomerular cells, the modified smooth muscle, the modified smooth muscles fiber of afferent arteriole at contact point between afferent and DCT. Okay, between the afferent. Here, the JG cells secretes a hormone called renin. Okay, JG cells secrete a hormone called renin. It comes in examination. This question comes in examination. Now, the macula tensa, it is a compact cuboidal cells at DCT at contact point between afferent and DCT. Okay, got it. Now, the last part of today, the podocytes. Give the heading as podocytes. Podocytes. Podocytes consist of appendages and cells. It consists of appendages as well as cells. Now, what happens? Let okay, these are the pedicel. Appendage arising from podocytes are called pedicel. What is pedicel? Appendages arising out from podocytes. Okay, so here alteration slit. It is called the alteration slit. Okay, at a distance, it is, what is alteration slit? This is a distance between successive pedicel. So, I have drawn pictures and explained every in depth of this nephron. Please go through it, and if you find any difficulties, please write it in the comment box, and please share and subscribe and like this video. And till then, good night, and I will start from the next part of this chapter in the next video. Good night.